All right, welcome back to Believe Me Later. Finally, we were back. I don't even know what episode or number we're on.
I think we're officially on 7.
6 or 7, yeah.
6 or 7.
We stopped counting. But I am Booner. Right over there is Lukas, clots, like blood clots.
Not true, not true.
And we got JB over here in the TD booth helping us out today. Appreciate you, JB. We love you, bro.
No doubt,
and then we also have Eazy in the chair from the Woodward Heavyweight.
Speak
From
easy, baby.
5 to 7.
We don't know how long we'll have him for, but he's here for the time.
I think there needs to be a punishment or something.
Here for a good time.
He's about to leave for a fucking potluck.
Yeah.
Pardon my French.
It's like there's food and drinks though. It's not just a potluck.
It's 8 o'clock.
What are you bringing? It's a potluck. You have to bring something, right?
That's like what they say, but like it's a last minute invite. I almost feel like I just pull up like, oh shit.
You just stop at like
It was just
Speedway
so
and grab
last minute.
like a bag of Doritos or something.
Doritos?
I don't know. Just like, you know.
Does Speedway sell ice cream? Like a big enough tub for
Dude,
a potluck?
I'm actually really glad you brought this up. So I got sick like last weekend. I got food poisoning from Mexican, and then I got like a
or here.
I just keep falling over here. I'm just dropping over here, boys.
It wasn't in either. I'm trying to think of where I was at.
Probably Toledo with
some
all
like
that
suburb
waste in
What
the air.
state? What state?
Ohio.
Oh, okay.
And so then I got kind of like a head cold after, and my throat was messing with me, and I went to Speedway to get ice cream, and they have drumsticks there, and they are so bad. Like the ice cream, like it's not even ice cream anymore.
Oh, it's like super hard.
It's not. It's like
That had to have just
powder.
been the Speedway
It's
you
like
went to.
it's like water. Like it's like almost like shredded ice as ice cream.
That had to have just been
It
the
was
Speedway
so
he was at.
disappointing.
Probably.
On a good note, though, they do, I'm trying to think of the candy. I'm having a brain fart now. They're like chewy. They come in like a big
Gummy bears?
stick. They
Talking
got
about
like
sweet
4
tarts?
flavors.
Twix? A stick?
They're
Oh, Chewies?
Sweet tarts.
JB says sweet tarts.
no, not sweet tarts.
Sweet tartness.
I'm looking
put
it
this
up.
in so I can hear you, JB.
Like
God,
the
this is
Bombas?
gonna
Stuff
bother
for you
me.
guys.
I have a pack of them in my car chilling right now.
Dildos.
I wonder if they even are like a known thing, like up here.
I'll have no clue. I'm not like a big candy guy anyways.
Either
so,
way,
like,
I
have
found
zero.
some
Not
good
either.
candy over the weekend.
Chocolates.
Send it to us. We'll put it in.
Chocolates I'm not that much of a
Pause.
fan of anymore. I was as a child, but now it's like one bite and I'm out.
I got that too,
No. Tiana Trump all the way. It's not what I'm saying.
Wait, what?
Oh, you guys were all looking at me like, because I said I'm not like a fan of chocolate, and then you guys were all looking at me. I was like, oh.
No,
Oh, no.
I had no clue. That comment came out of nowhere.
Well, shout out.
Tiana Trump is the
I was
goat.
looking at the
Shout out
headphones
Tiana
weren't
Trump
working. I was
regardless.
confused.
She's
No,
the
yeah,
goat.
I said that, and then
Big
everybody was
shouts
like,
out.
whoa.
She's listening.
Who?
We love you.
She will one day, if not.
Who?
For sure.
Tiana Trump?
Tiana Trump.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'd bat her in
yeah.
the 40s just to say I did it.
We should pull her Twitter up on the back screen one day.
Oh,
That'd be hilarious.
Her pinned tweet.
That'd be.
Dude, I was telling Justin didn't know who she was, and yesterday I was like,
the goat.
I was telling him about it, and I was like, you should pull up her Twitter. She doesn't have an
I don't
Instagram.
think Booner knows who she is.
And then
Huh?
Huh?
Does Booner know who she is?
Oh, yeah, I do.
Oh, okay.
I've heard of her here and there. I've heard
But
of
have
her.
you seen her?
I'll just keep falling right now.
Booner's trying to hide his boner.
I don't know what's going on over here. I'm gonna have to stand up for the show.
Have you gone to her Twitter before?
No, I haven't.
Well, okay, let's.
You have to show me after.
But no. Pull up on your phone. This is gonna be a part of the segment. Let's live react Booner to Tiana
Watching
Trump's
Booner try
Twitter.
to figure out this.
Trying to figure out this chair first.
We might have to stand, shall we?
Jeez. Don't worry, everyone. Oh, here we. Oh, it's going back down. I just started a diet today, so this will happen. In the
Pull it up on
future.
your phone. Pull it up on your phone.
All right, let me see.
Volume up.
No.
Why?
Full volume.
Look up the name and
Volume
then.
up.
This is like a routine for me. Trust me, I
Can
know
I
what
look
I'm
it
doing
up
here.
on
This is
the?
a
You have to
routine.
go to Twitter, look up her name, because her account doesn't show up on the algorithm. So look up her name.
Shadow band.
Then you
That's
go to
how lit she
latest. And then
45,000 followers.
No, that's not her. That's a
that's not
fake
her.
account. Look up her name, then go to latest.
She's gotta have
And then
probably
you'll
at
see
least-
that there's another one.
At least 700,000, I'd say.
1.6 million. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
You know the
I saw the
He's
pin
wiped
tweet.
out right away.
All right, let's just get
No,
to
I got
business here, please.
All right. Well, that's a good
That's
way to kick it off.
unbelievable, boys. Jeez. That's Easy's fault. All right, let's get into
My
it.
fault. He brought it up.
I mean, yeah, what's going on here?
All right.
All right, yeah, let's just get right into it though, because first thing,
leak.
the reason Eazy is on and he's gonna
God.
stay the whole episode, is UFC.
Did you look it up?
You just looked it
I
up.
just typed in her name. I was like, who's behind me right now? Who can see this?
You had a couple
That's
people
what
behind
happened with
you.
Justin.
You might want to watch out.
JP.
Anyways.
So this last weekend was the is it Pereira?
Is Israel
Adesanya.
Adesanya.
Israel
Alex Pereira.
Yes, and Pereira.
Pereira.
That was good.
That's pretty good.
Ooh, don't let me get going. Okay, here we go.
What is happening?
But no, that was my first. It wasn't my first UFC fight. I've seen UFC fights, like big ones. I watched them, but I went to B-Dubs with Lukas, Jeff, Jeff's
W's.
friend, and
Ryan.
Ryan Lentz was there. JB didn't show up. Sadly, next fight I'm gonna watch with JB.
He's
JB,
been
you
a
missed the
loyal
fights?
Next one.
He did.
You didn't get to see him?
No, so I had to watch them on my phone.
He was helping wifey out though.
Yeah, he was. He had something going on. But that was my first time with the boys. Like I've watched fights. Like they're electric. All the big ones I'll tune in. But I put like $200 by the end. By the time the fight came, I had like $200 on Eazy.
This man, before we get into it, he did not. He was looking at this beat up like Thanksgiving. He was like, "I
I'm
didn't
looking at this
eat-
potluck, bro.
I didn't eat all day. I knew that we were coming here last night, and I did not eat. 8:30 right now. He got what all did you order?
I got some cheese curds. Someone got the sampler. I think you did.
I got the sampler.
A couple onion rings. Only one, actually. Not a couple. Just one single onion ring.
Then you had-
then I ordered 15 wings, which shout out to Ryan Lentz. He helped me eat them. But, dude, I knew I was starting this
You need
diet.
help eating
Let's see
15
how we
wings?
eat 'em.
Dude, the cheese curds, they get to you, bro. The cheese, it
I
expands
can
in your
only have
stomach.
a couple cheese curds.
They get,
man.
bro. I was banging those cheese curds. I had a beer, Pepsi.
He was fucked up.
This was before your diet?
I knew on Saturday, brother. I was going there. I went to beat up Sunday night as well. I love beat ups, but like I knew I was starting my diet Monday or Tuesday, and I was like, let's have
you on a
let's
diet,
have
no
a
lie?
weekend. What?
You're on a diet?
Right now?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Let me
What-
drop
what-
30 pounds and look good on this TV screen for
You
you.
can go running with me. I'm
No,
moving
I'm not
with
running.
Eazy soon.
There's a reason I'm doing a diet and not working out.
The evil laugh.
Fair.
You know what I mean?
That
Like,
was an evil laugh.
I'm not trying to run. Who wants to run?
Oh, yeah, no, fuck running.
Just a little update. The playing games right now. Atlanta up 13.
Atlanta's up 13.
We'll see
I don't
if there's a comeback
understand.
over Miami.
I don't understand the fact that Trae Young, they like came out a couple days ago, like said like we're shopping Trae Young, and they're
I
still
do.
in the playoff content. Like,
Dude,
But
no,
that's
because,
crazy.
Because
Is
they've
that
had
real?
Trae Young for
Yeah, like-
I'd say
he said he's open to it.
they
They're open to it.
traded.
5
Think about
years.
this. They traded Trae Young for Luka Doncic.
They did, yeah. And he
So now watching what Luka's doing.
Sadiq Bey.
I don't know, though. 'cause
If Dallas wasn't doing a full-on tank job, like if Dallas just kept doing what they were doing, building organically around Luka, I'm not saying they'd be winning the Western Conference, but they would be sure as hell in the playoffs. They would have been a playoff lock if they didn't mess up what they were doing.
Yeah, I mean,
you want to tell me about
you
the
can't-
K9 be fit? I'm telling you.
I know,
Kyrie and Luka on paper, you think, oh, two good players. It's going to work
No,
out.
I agree with you.
That's
I
not
thought
how
it
shit
would
works.
have. I thought it would have worked.
That's
You
not how
still
shit
have to
works.
see Cade and Jaden play. Like
I don't know.
you don't know
No,
yet.
for sure.
You know what I mean? Like they could play. They're different than Kyrie and Luka.
I think the thing is Cade is has way less of a head than Kyrie and Luka both. Luka came over from Europe being the man,
Yeah.
had instant success, and then you have Kyrie who's just always just
And the
been about
Pistons
himself, whether you agree with it or not. Like I'm not taking a side with
they're
it.
in a different position too because they're about to add probably a third star, whether it's Victor or Brandon Miller or Scoot. Like they're gonna have a third star, hopefully. Like that's gonna
Yeah.
be all right. Who I don't know, but
be.
all right. Can we talk some UFC?
Yeah, we
This
keep
last
Oh,
it
fight-
yeah, my bad. Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna give like my what is it called? Like my story about my first UFC experience.
Falling
with
in
the boys.
love.
Yeah, bro. Because I mean that was the most electric thing I've ever seen.
It was a great fight. I
was
let you know
packed
beforehand
hard,
too. I was
man.
like, Booner, this is gonna be the card for you to fall in love with the
Oh,
UFC.
I loved it, and I've seen, like
yeah.
I said, I've seen a ton of fights. I've seen good ones. I've seen Connor. I don't know who else I've seen. I can't. That's the only person I can name.
But no, I get what you're saying
But-
because it's kind of hard if you don't know like
That atmosphere. There was like 100 people in the
great.
beat-ups, and no one thought he was gonna knock him out. And he's backed up in the corner, and
and
all
this
of a
is-
sudden just
this-
bow, and the whole beat-ups just.
And
How
the
you
thing
punch him
is
again?
about
It
it
was
is
crazy, bro.
when-
Bow, bow?
right when he
Bow,
knocked
bow.
him out, like that was where people thought Izzy would be fucked, is because he was getting his back to the fence, and then that's where he got fucked last time, and it kept happening even before that in the first round and early in the second, and that's where he was getting beat up at. Before that, when he was staying away from the fence, he was doing his thing. But then it's almost like, for me, I was like, oh no, this is it. And then he came and he popped him right in the fucking paws.
Anytime Eazy fights, first of all, they need to do a trilogy. They need to do a third fight. In
I don't know
UFC.
if there will be, bro.
Dana White came out.
I'm being
I'm
sarcastic.
dialed into UFC. Dana White came out in the press conference after.
No, Dana said that.
He
Alex
said Eazy
Pereira,
asked for it.
No, Izzy didn't know. Izzy asked for that fight.
They're
said, saying Alex Pereira might move up to light heavyweight. He's a monster at middleweight.
He should stay. Because after I saw
He really
Dana White, I
should
saw
stay.
a clip.
I think if he
and
goes
Dana
up,
White
he'd
said,
be
Izzy
in
said,
some trouble.
Izzy was like, "I'll take him again. Like, we can go fight right now again if you want." Like, that was basically kind of
Because
what I took out of it.
If he goes up a weight class, what's that? So they were in what, 180?
They're 185 or
so
180
go
right
up
now.
to
Yeah.
What would it be?
What?
What would be the next weight class be?
Light heavyweight.
I know, but I'm saying, what weight is that?
205.
So if you have 205, who else is in that?
You have
I'm saying,
my
I
boy
think he's
Jamal
worse
Hill,
off.
champion light heavyweight.
Shout out.
You have Yeri, I can't say his last name, Prozinga. That's the dude who had the championship from Glover before he hurt his shoulder or whatever. There's not that many killers at light heavyweight anymore, man, to be honest with you. You have Jan.
So do you think that's... Oh, Peter Yan's in there? Or Peter?
Not Peter Jan, but Jan Blachowicz. The dude that had the light heavyweight championship before
Jan
Glover took it from him. This is the position where the light heavyweight division is at. The belt keeps turning hands because nobody's good enough to maintain it, and like that. So like, I don't think it'd be a horrible move.
So
but
you think it's a good time for him to move up?
I think it is. Yeah, I don't know where he's at with grappling. I feel like there's a lot more grapplers at the 205 spot, but there's also grapplers at 185 too.
That's where. Just from watching him, because I haven't. He was like 7-1 going in. I think I've only watched him probably like 2 or 3 times total, including that fight. And I just think if he needs to stay there, just because his size is working to his advantage. Because if he has somebody that's just the same build as him, which I think they'd find more of, obviously, if you go up a weight class, that kind of takes away the whole strength about him.
Yeah. But he is like a world class kickboxer too. Like, don't forget, like, yeah, he knocked out Izzy once in kickboxing, but he also beat him on like a decision as well, which like Izzy's probably one of the better strikers in the UFC. He's for sure probably the best striker in the UFC. So like for Pereira to even hang with them or bang with them enough to like win a decision, that's like
so. Can
good.
Pereira? So he's moving up a class.
That's what Dana thinks.
Rumored.
Yeah, that's what Dana thinks is going to happen.
Okay, and will he automatically fight for the belt there? How does that work?
No,
I mean, no, probably not. He could if they wanted to.
Who's he gonna fight?
If he would have won this last fight, then he probably would have fought for the light heavyweight belt for sure. Yeah, I think so.
What's the most belts that someone's held at once?
Two.
Connor,
DC, Mana Nunes, and that's it. I'm off the top of my head. Oh, Henry Cejudo.
John Bones.
Nope.
No.
He's got one right now.
Yep, he's got the heavyweight strap.
He should get another one.
He was the 205 champion. They vacated before moving out.
Oh.
It's like technically in a way he kind of is. That's how it usually goes on anyway. When guys get 2 belts, they just go into they stay in another division.
Yeah.
Like when Conor won his second belt, he never went back to 145. He actually never even defended the belt once at 145.
So he still has it. I'm just kidding.
Nah.
This
No,
is
but
interesting. There's so much to this that I have no clue about.
That's the thing about it, because
This
me
is
too.
crazy.
Like I'm like in it now, but like when you start going into like history, that's where I start getting faded.
There's a lot to it.
But that's the thing is like
There's
it's
so
so
many
fun.
fighters.
There's so many good films around it, and if you just go on YouTube, there's so many good like just documentaries placed around it. It's entertaining just to watch.
Yeah.
Not only the sport but the characters around it. Like I was watching. I mean, I already knew who the Diaz brothers were, but I never kind of watched from like point A to B to where they are now. And I'll probably send it to you, but it's really fucking good. And it's just kind of crazy, especially with how screwed over Nick got, just with smoking weed. I didn't know he got fucking popped for 5 years when he's like at the peak of his career.
He beat Anderson Silva.
Who else? Who's the other one?
Couldn't tell you.
Izzy's got a hell of a story too. Like the way
that's
he
what I'm
looks
saying,
at his
though,
life.
yeah.
If you ever like look at social media, like you'll see he put like Ready Player One, but that's like how he lives his life as like a video game. It's like
I've heard that.
anything in his eyes like possible. It's like we play fucking Grand Theft Auto. You got to go be buff. You take him to the gym. He's fucking buff. Like life is really like that. If you think about it, like you want to be a fucking podcast host. Like start fucking hosting your
Just do
podcast.
it.
Start kicking. Yeah, he's got. Yeah,
I posted a video
literally.
on Instagram of him after the fight, and he was like, "If you want to do something, just go do it. Like,
Yeah.
anyone can do it.
Yeah.
And then after, when you're done, you did it, and you're happy. Like he's like, that's what I do.
Or at least like
Which
give
is
yourself the
inspiring.
chance to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like don't fucking like don't hold yourself back by not doing it. You gotta at least
100%.
try. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the dope thing about that too is like you may not land like where you want to be, but you're at least like sometimes what happens you'll land in that industry. And you at least know from there, like if that's what you want to do, or maybe you'll find like happiness at just being in the industry too. Like
Yeah, and you know,
a lot
like
of
you're chasing
promoters,
that
rappers,
purpose.
a lot of promoters are rappers who didn't make it. Mm-hmm. Diddy's a rapper that didn't make it. You know what I'm saying? Turned to a fucking label head.
Yeah,
like,
you find your way.
yeah.
And he's very successful.
Big Fox.
But or you want to stay for some football stuff too? A little
Stay
bit.
for a little bit. Let me see what this. As long as one of you guys comes with me to this fucking spot.
I'm out
Oh yeah, we're letting you know in advance. There's
because
no way.
I'm on a diet. If I go to
Hey,
if I go to anything like that, like I'm
On a
breaking
diet.
it, and I can't. I'm day one right now. I can't go day one and just snap
So
it.
just restart
You
tomorrow.
can
Yeah,
start
he's
it
restart
tomorrow.
tomorrow.
No, bro. I have a salad in the back there. I'm gonna eat after this. I can't.
Just restart
hot
it
ones, bro.
tomorrow.
Come
It'll
on,
be day
boys.
1. Today's day 0.
Now, come on, fellas. I need the support back here. Come on.
I'm with
Give
you,
it
bro.
to me.
That's what I
support
said.
you
I'm all
100%,
for it.
But it's a part.
You can start with a diet, then get yourself in the gym.
The gym, that's
Get
the
in-
diet. The gym will come. I need to drop.
The gym
bro.
will
I
or
need to
it
get
won't?
to it, and I'm sure a lot of people can relate with me. Yeah, I need to drop a little bit to get back in the gym.
I know. That's what I said.
You know what I mean?
get
Like,
on a diet, you slim down, then you get in the gym.
Yeah. That's where I'm at.
Get it going, and then when you start getting that mental thing,
Once I
you start,
slim
you
down,
start
then I
come
can
running,
start-
running with Lukas.
Getting some push-ups going.
You don't have to run. Don't do that part.
Yeah, I don't have to run. Maybe
If
a
you
little,
want to
bike.
just get that fucking.
I do love to hop on the bike and get some cardio in. Are you
Yeah,
leaving?
you can.
Oh, I thought
You can get a bike.
I might, dog. Shit, you guys are going with me. I thought you guys were going with me.
No,
Dude,
I've
we
never said
told you
that.
before, during, and I'll tell you after that we weren't ever going.
No, I'll keep you here. Let me get into here what we have on our prep here.
Okay.
So talking about because I mean the talk the last 2 weeks has been basically the top 10 because we're the Lions obviously have the
Top
sixth
10,
pick.
top 10, top
So the top 10 in the NFL draft has been like I feel like the last 2 months it's moved so much more than usually it does. Like usually so this guy's the number 1 pick like this. Right now the thing that I heard today and you guys talked about it on the heavyweights too I think a little bit, but Jalen Carter to the Seattle Seahawks at 5.
I've been
Yeah.
saying that.
Which
it's gonna
when that
happen.
happens, that leaves Will basically. If it goes 4 quarterbacks and Jalen Carter, you're sitting there with Will Anderson at 6, and that's the scenario I put down here for the Detroit Lions. And
See, I don't know about all that.
That's what I just want to see where people's mindset is on it because they talked about it on Big D Energy this week. I think you guys touched a little bit on heavyweights. I don't know if you guys talked that deep into it, but I'm interested because, bro, my brain, you guys know how it works. It goes like. And that was one scenario where I'm like,
I don't know.
that when I hear that, I'm like,
It's like a hamster on a wheel in there.
It is.
Sometimes he trips up.
It goes, bro. It's moving right now. When I heard that, I was like,
It's moving right now.
Will Anderson in Detroit with Aiden Hutchinson. Who's the one that did the mock draft that had that?
Mel Kiper.
Mel
That's
Kiper.
what I'm about
Shout
to say.
out.
The brain's going, baby.
Shout out.
Shout out.
All right, but snap back. Let's snap back to reality here.
No,
Oh, there goes
I'm not
gravity.
saying we'd have to talk about reality right now. I text Eazy a couple weeks ago, and you
Dick
have to
pics.
admit to me right here that I was right because I texted you last week, and I said,
Relax.
I'm
Jesus
sorry,
Christ, dude.
I have an energy drink in me, bro. Bro, I texted you
just
last
drank
week,
it
and
a
I
second
said I
ago.
had 3 mock drafts that came out and proof that it's possible Jalen Carter goes 5 and we end up with Will Anderson. And what did you
Here's-
text me back? There's no way.
Probably.
And what's the talk this week?
I don't remember
Because
this
he's
interaction.
right. There's
What,
no.
but
All right, Booner,
because we wouldn't be talking
Okay,
about
okay.
it, and Mel Kiper
So
wouldn't
do
do
you
it if
think-
there's zero.
Bro,
chance.
there's
think
never
that-
in NFL history been a run of 4 quarterbacks in the draft.
I don't.
4 straight. It doesn't have to be 4 straight.
That's what.
Yes, it
that's
does.
the scenario you
If
gave.
it goes Jalen Carter at 5 and Will Anderson is
Yeah.
sitting at 6, unless Devon Witherspoon is
you
Bri-
guys-
it's
guys
Bryce Young, Stroud,
You guys caught me with that.
Richardson, Levis.
the brain was going.
Hey, he was the first boom on the second one. Pow! He slept.
But
Brain ain't running no more, huh?
realistically,
I'm falling again.
You're fine.
It's whatever.
Like
man.
Jalen Carter on the draft boards.
So
Jalen Carter's not going to fall though.
I mean, he has.
I think the talk we do need to talk about the talk of Jalen Carter going out of the top 10 and like the
That's
issues is so
for the
far
birds.
gone.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It
And,
was
and
like
I was the
recency
one
bias.
I was
I
sitting up
agree.
here the last 2 weeks trying to like preach that like there's
Yeah.
no way.
He's
that
almost
he
blessed
falls.
that happened when it did, because it had time to die down a little bit. You know.
Yeah, I mean,
like
bro,
if it came out now,
I went
Yeah.
back
like
and
a Laramie Tunsil.
yeah, I went back and looked at
Completely different situation. Nobody died
mock
in
drafts
that.
in February and January, and he was going number 1 in all of them.
Who?
Jalen Carter.
Yeah.
Like,
well, the
everyone
Bears
knew-
were there too. I mean, the Bears already have their quarterback, but yeah, I mean, he wouldn't have made it past 3. That's for damn sure, unless
Yeah.
somebody traded up to 3 to grab a quarterback. But he wasn't.
So do you? I guess we didn't.
Put it to
really,
you this way: he like before the bullshit, he's a higher prospect than Will Anderson.
No,
like it's,
see,
it's
that's
not. It's,
where I draw the
No,
line.
but you
no,
can
no,
say
no, but
not
like,
like by your take,
by
but like
by your
legit-
standards, yeah. But
he
I'm talking
legit
about by
was
like
a higher prospect.
Yeah, he was a higher prospect.
Every
I don't-
draft you look
'cause
at,
let's-
it
See
was number
that?
1.
Let's
I
be
still
real about
didn't see
Chicago.
that. Like,
I showed
Since
you a mock
coming
draft
into,
in
like-
February of that.
but I get that. But there's mock drafts everywhere that spit out stupid shit.
That's the
But
thing.
I'm saying coming into the year,
The consensus
Coming into
prospect rankings was like
it
Carter.
was like 1A, 1B.
coming into
defense.
this college football season, Will Anderson was the number
Yeah.
1 pick,
yeah.
and I think nothing should have changed.
Will
that.
Anderson didn't have as good of a year as he did.
You want me
the
to tell
year
you what
before.
changed?
And Jalen Carter,
I-
Carter kind of.
You want me to tell you what
supported
changed? I had a
But I think
conversation with
the
an actual
narrative
scout.
changed, but literally like
that. Scout.
not much actually changed. Like I
Yeah,
get that.
but
The
we're
only
not
thing that
saying-
changed was the narrative.
But we're not.
No.
We're not saying though that Will
there's-
Anderson wasn't there. Jalen Carter, if you look at least 60% of the draft boards before this stuff came out, he was number 1.
I don't.
The number 1
I think
defensive player.
I think
on
it
the
kind of
boards.
went up for a little bit, just how we saw Jalen Carter sink. I think it went up for way longer. But even before that, Will Anderson was 1. Jalen Carter went up for a
Yeah.
little bit and then it went back down.
Well, yeah, the season. This is what happened. Will Anderson, like within the season, he put on like 30+ pounds like this year, and then on tape, you guys, I swear to God, watch it tonight too. This is a scout who told me this, and when I went to watch it myself,
Could
'cause
you
I
give
watched.
a source?
Huh? No,
you
I'm
give-
not.
Oh, damn.
But Darnell Wright, he's like the number 1 right tackle on the board from Tennessee. You watch the tape on him. Jalen Carter never like actually rushes inside. You'll see times where he's shaded inside as like a defensive tackle, because once you put on that weight, he lost like some of the burst. Is what they're saying. That's
saying Jalen
that's the
Carter or Will Anderson?
Will Anderson. If I said Jalen Carter, I apologize.
yeah.
But yeah, that's the synopsis on Will Anderson. Now, but
I
with
think
that
that's
being
just-
said, though, he still had 1 extra attention on him. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to keep eyes where he's at. 2, still had 10 sacks. I still think Will Anderson's like a guy still. Like
Yeah, no,
But
I
that's
get
what
that.
if
He's
you
a
watch his
dog.
tape though, you'll never really see him. He's
He's the
rushing
best-
inside a lot more than he is outside because with the extra weight, he's not been able to get the same fucking bend as he used to.
He's
But-
gone.
but
Like
here's the
2
thing,
2
though.
years
Let's-
ago, his freshman year, he would have been the number 1 pick.
Let's just-
He went from
Sophomore year,
230.
That's what I'm saying.
He went from 230 to
But
260.
what you're saying about Jalen Carter,
Can we
Will
agree-
Anderson was on a downhill slope into his junior year.
Before we get into like a true debate, can we agree that Will Anderson is
Well, yeah,
the best defensive
you're-
player in this draft?
Yes,
Just
right now,
like-
yes.
Okay.
Like you're missing like conducting
I
what
want
we're
to make
saying.
sure I'm not taking this the wrong
There is
way.
a possibility Jalen Carter is though. Like
Oh
that's why I
my-
say there's a
Will
1
Anderson
There's definitely
is
arguments
the
for
best
Jalen
defensive
Carter.
player we've seen out of Alabama on the
I'll
defensive
put you this
side
way.
of the ball, and I don't
I'll put
know
you this
how
way.
long.
Before all the bullshit, who was projected to go to Chicago when they were number 1?
That's what I'm saying. When Chicago traded
Will
up,
Anderson-
they
or
were
Jalen
saying
Carter.
Chicago is
Jalen
trading
Carter.
up for for Jalen Carter. Before that, it was a lot of Will Anderson being number 1. Once Chicago traded
Yeah,
up,
but
that
I'm
was the thing.
during before the college football season. College
was
football
Will
season
Anderson.
plays out at the end of the season. It was Jalen Carter.
But
Was.
dude, that's what everybody said.
And here-
but
and
is
here's
that
the thing,
really
too.
the logical thing to do?
Yeah, I
we
mean, Will
yes.
Anderson was on a.
There are
negative
legitimate
slope.
questions about Will Anderson.
It's not dumb. Don't make me. I'm not.
No,
trying to say
you're not
that's a-
dumb. But I'm just
No.
saying you can't ignore the fact that like Jalen Carter was the higher ranked prospect before all the bullshit.
But I don't think there was really. Not that he was bad. Like I'm not trying to say this, but I think
No.
on film, from
There
take
was
any year, Will Anderson
Bro,
shows you way
I think
way
you're
more.
looking at what we're saying completely different.
Now on film, there was questions.
I think
there's questions.
I'm more so talking Eazy because I think Easy's saying that he kind of takes Jalen Carter over Will Anderson. Am I
Oh.
wrong?
for this Lions team for sure. But no, and like actually,
I-
in
No.
reality,
So what happens if you get though Will Anderson at 6 and Kalijah Kancey at 18, like an interior guy?
I'm not
that's
even.
still,
You can get
like,
Mozzie Smith in the second.
Like I think if you looked at
There's-
it that way, like you can still add an interior
Premier
and
pass
you get
rusher is
another edge.
I think
Because you
when-
can't do the opposite. You can't get Jalen
if
Carter.
you
and
have
get
an elite
leader.
quarterback, you have elite pass rusher, which we already have with Aiden Hutchinson, and now you get another one with Will Anderson. I think that gives you so much security, just both in the passing game and the running game on the defensive side of the ball. Because think about how much, especially with Anzalone, I mean, he's not terrible, but the dude's just he's limited. And so if you give him like just help, especially in that type of way. But I don't know. I see what you're saying because Jalen Carter being a defensive tackle, it's your
well, because you already have
linebacker's best
an
friend.
edge who stood out last year in James Houston.
That's what I'm saying.
And
though,
then you had
but
the
that
return of
allows you
Romeo
to-
Aquara, who like showed you flashes too.
I think I
Julian
That's what
Aquara's
I
brother
can see
too.
what you're saying.
Kaminsky.
What do you? What
Like
are
if you have Carter in there getting double teamed, like Aiden has more one-on-ones.
Yeah.
Houston has more one-on-ones. Like
Carter is
Carter-
I
and
like
the-
it.
But do you think would? And I'm asking, would Will
Yeah.
Anderson be able to play off the ball or off the line? You think?
nah.
2 years ago, probably.
Do you think that's?
When he
But I
was
think that's almost
30
why he's
pounds
kind of
less.
putting on size, or no? Or do you think he's putting on size?
That's the question that's like roaming around, and I was like, was he going to be at the pro level? Because like they don't know if like Alabama asked him to put on the exercise because he played defensive tackle at times this year. I'm not even joking. Like watch the tape.
No, I believe it.
When I-
Because
when he's
he's a
telling me this-
dog. He'll do whatever.
Yeah, and this is like from like defensive like line coaches. This is
you
from
imagine
scouts.
him
Like these are like legitimate like questions, I guess, because you saw him at 230 when last year, maybe 230, have that bend and explosiveness to like this year with the extra weight on him. But if he drops to 30 pounds, Booner's dropping 30 pounds.
I am. Yeah, he can hop on the Weight Watchers thing
I'm
with
not.
me.
I'm not questioning it. The other thing too for the Lions specifically, they said that Anderson and Aiden play like the similar role,
No.
or similar position. Where like, but I don't see that as much of a thing. I could just put one
Yeah,
guy on the left side.
that's
I'm
what
not
I'm
tripping
saying.
over
It's
that
just-
as much.
but-
Did you hear Neil?
Especially if he's already playing defensive
Neil
tackle.
this week though? What Neil said?
What?
I think it was what he said. It could have been someone else, but just mentioned like, hey, you get a Will Anderson and like James Houston, like he doesn't have to be. First of all, he doesn't have to be like a full-time edge for you. Like he can do
Yeah.
what he was doing last year, where you're putting him in certain situations because you still have Will Anderson, right? And you have Aiden. And then the secondly is, since we let him go earlier in the year and re-sign him off of whatever it was, like he potentially could be gone next year, or you have to pay him
Yeah.
more. So you can get a guy like Will Anderson to kind of fill that void, to where you kind of have like a
I don't want
a
James
three-headed
leaving.
monster for a good rookie deal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like,
The Will Anderson's still only there too.
I'm
because of that run
not.
of
I think
quarterbacks.
James Houston's going to be a great player, but we've seen such a small sample size, in my opinion.
Yeah, but
like
the
But
thing
like
is,
what he
with
did,
the
that small sample size
and
is
it's not
fucking
even-
insane.
it is insane, but like,
It's not
was
only
he
the
doing that
stats,
because he
though.
was just kind of being like he was getting in the
I
perfect
don't-
positions? You bring
No,
Will
that's
Anderson in,
the
he's
thing.
in
Even
those-
then, though,
No,
like he's
then
still
he
going to be
wasn't
put in those
that-
perfect
I
positions.
think he's elite.
He was a couple times, but like, and I'm not even saying like this as like saying you're stupid. If you go and watch James Houston,
Whoa.
no,
That's a
I'm
roundabout
making
way of
sure
calling him stupid.
I'm not making
I'm
sure
not
I don't
saying.
come off like
I'm just
if you
asking the
watch-
question. Like,
I know that's what I'm saying.
him in
James
those positions,
Houston,
is that why he had all those sacks?
No, James
So
Houston
that's my
is
question.
he's like a wild card coming off the edge. Like you have, if you go back and watch his sack that he absolutely bent Trevor Lawrence's leg on.
Oh, yeah, that
like
was crazy.
His pass rushing moves are completely unique to anyone in the league, and that's why I'm saying like the sample size that we did see, he was productive
I'm
in the
excited to see-
stats department. But if you actually go and watch it, you're like, dude, what the hell is going on
I mean,
here? Not
you
in a
had
bad
his
way at
coach,
all.
his D-line coach
Against
or
Chicago.
trainer, like.
'Cause-
Shout out to James Houston too. He does follow the program.
He does, and he's
program.
active with it.
Yeah, he is. He comments. He likes our stuff.
Reshares.
So shout
Des
out.
Walker?
My edit's
James
pinned to his
Houston.
profile.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I put out a post on our page last week, and I think he might have shared it or something.
Yeah,
I love you guys.
He pinned
Go get
our
this food.
No, stay a
edit
little
to our
longer.
profile.
No, dude, fuck you guys.
I got one more thing.
My
no,
goodness.
fuck you guys.
That's look.
love
We
you
got
guys.
the three-headed
Make
monster.
sure,
going.
make sure you guys hit the like
JB.
button.
Bro, you can't leave now.
You gotta put JB in there.
You can't.
JB
You can't
put-
leave
JB,
now.
Put JB
you
in there.
should switch it in to yourself if he leaves.
No shit,
JB,
Sherlock.
I can try to do that. Yeah.
All right,
you
guys.
dipping though?
All right,
Yeah,
bro. I
yeah.
see how
All
it
right.
is.
Oh, you see how it is. You're the ones holding me out right
Hey,
now.
let's just.
I
let it
appreciate
be.
you
He
coming.
wants
We love
to
you
go
guys,
get
though.
some
Thank
food.
you, everyone. Easy.
Your boy has work at fucking 6 a.m.
Same.
Yeah, that's exactly why we're not going to a potluck.
Same.
And
Yeah, so
Well,
does
that's
so
where
does
I'm
hey,
going.
JB's got the shout out to JB though because he's grinding.
He
JB is
is.
grinding.
I told we're
JB's a
getting
loyal
JB dinner.
soldier.
JB dinner the
Yeah.
next week.
Yeah, you guys gotta get him some.
We owe him some dinner.
There you
some
go.
Brooklyn pizza.
Ooh, there
Whatever
you go.
whatever he wants, you pick it out. You got it.
We'll do that.
It is good.
I got
Brooklyn
your
pizza is
beat up
fire.
strip
You
again.
said it's steep.
No, it's heat.
What'd you say, JB?
I said beat up strip again.
B Dubs?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I got you.
All right,
B-Dubs
I love you
next
guys.
fight.
I'm out.
We'll see you.
It's tough, Easy. Appreciate you.
Go to 2 camp.
Appreciate you coming on.
I don't know. I don't know what he's trying to do right now.
I'm just trying not to. Go to 2 camp, JB. What are you doing?
What are you doing, bro?
Just get off. Okay. All right. I guess. All right.
I'm gonna clip that. I'm gonna clip that. Oh, this is new.
This is what you got cooking up right now, JB.
This is new, JP.
Whoa, JP's in the lab. This is like
I feel like
ultra
I'm in
high
outer
def.
space right now.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm trying to figure out. Okay, so I'm here.
Easy's leaving. My next question. I didn't even put down a player for this, but I put after
Shoot it.
round 1 for the Detroit Lions. And Easy, I don't want to hear your answer because you're leaving. Who would be your dream player that drops? Like,
Well, so we're talking in the second round,
second round.
or just in the whole draft?
I mean, you have to be kind of realistic here because like a Bijan's not going to drop in the second
Well,
round.
yeah.
But like a
But I'm
guy to
saying,
drop
like, a
in the
fifth
second round,
round?
because I have a guy today in my head, and kind of I was listening to the heavyweights, and this made me think of the question, and I'll probably use the same guy, but there's a receiver to where I think we could get in the second round to where if he drops, and Easy and Spencer touched on it a little bit.
I think I know who. But are we?
Who do you think I'm saying?
Who do I think?
Yeah, receiver dropped in the second round.
I'm gonna hope you're not talking about A.T. Perry, but I'm thinking you're talking about Zay Flowers.
No, I think Zay Flowers. I saw a couple mocks of him going in like 10 to 15, which is
There's
crazy.
no way.
But like if a team falls
Jordan
in love with him-
Addison?
No, I would like Jordan Addison in the
He's
second.
going in the first.
Jalen Hyatt.
Ooh, yeah, I
Love
do like,
him, dude.
I
He-
do like that. But
Bro-
Dream?
I mean,
I don't know.
I don't think there's any guys like in the first round like that are like
He's got the
late
size.
first where I'm like they're gonna drop. Like there's a lot of guys that's like they're locks in the first.
So what do you like about Jalen Hyatt?
Bro, I just think he's elite. Like look at this, and this is we talked about this in the back last week. Is this man last year was like a wide receiver in the Heisman race.
Yeah.
Like I did Heisman articles this year for college football here, and there was times where I was putting him in my top 5 in the Heisman race, and it was like, yeah, he had Hendon Hooker, but like Hendon Hooker was great at times because he had Jalen Hyatt. Like Jalen Hyatt, bro, he's like to me.
Sounds a lot like Marvin Harrison.
It kind of reminds me of like a Quinton Johnston that you can get in the second round.
I think, in all
If
real,
not, could be better.
Keeping it real, this can be a believe me later take for both of us. I think Jalen Hyatt will be better than Quentin Johnston.
See, that's where I'm looking at.
I've
So
been
where
watching.
If he falls out of the first,
Yeah.
there you go. You got
Yeah,
your
I'm not
guy.
knocking. I like that a lot.
Instead of having to go up to 11 and get JSN, just take it with the normal pick. If Brad doesn't want to make moves, Jalen Hyatt, you have an elite wide receiver that's going to drop.
I like it. So you go with an SEC guy.
Who are you
I'm
going
going with an SEC guy. I'm going with a guy who played at 2 SEC schools. That's a linebacker, Drew Sanders. This guy's
Love it.
6'5".
Love it.
And he's not the Jack Campbell prototype. This man came out of high school, played at Bama, and he was a defensive end. But then he goes to Arkansas. He goes to instantly the captain of their defense, and he put up a first-team All-SEC season and then I don't know if that was this year or the year after, but either way, this guy's 6'5", and he can go from point A to point B like that. He has the tenacity of a defensive end, and he has the athleticism to go all across the field. I think when you look at him compared to Jack Campbell, Drew Sanders, no doubt fits what the modern day NFL linebacker is. You can go tit for tat with him, with Trenton Simpson. But I think Drew Sanders, as far as what the Lions want, I think he fits that exactly. I think he's a tenacious linebacker. I think he will fall out of the first round. He might go like late second, but I truly think getting Drew Sanders in the second round is one of those things where it's like you look back and you're like, how did Drew Sanders fall out of the first round?
Yeah. I mean, he is
Because he's fast, bro. He's long, pause, but like he has, as far as like,
100 tackles
he
last
does
year at
exactly what
Arkansas.
Anzalone does on an elite level, in my opinion.
9.5 sacks. Yeah, I mean, he's elite. An interception,
He has
2 forced
two.
fumbles.
I think he has
or
2
3.
interceptions.
Let's see one here.
Maybe I was looking at his
Could be
career
off.
one then. Maybe I'm
But
tweaking.
let me give you this then. If you like your Sanders, if you're Brad Holmes and you have an opportunity, I just drew a blank.
If you have Drew, you said if I have Brad Holmes and I have Drew Sanders.
Yeah, if you have an opportunity to get Drew Sanders, all right, I drew a blank there because it was my
The rabbit on the or
it
the
was my
hamster
hot
on the
headline
wheel.
earlier, kind of, and I'm gonna mix it in.
I got you.
All right, you're sitting in the draft room, right, with
Yep.
Brad Holmes. You have an opportunity to trade for Devin White, that second round pick that you're going to draft Drew Sanders with, and maybe like a 5th or 6th round pick to give it to the Bucks and take Devin White and kind of sign him to a long-term deal. You have an elite linebacker for the next 4 or 5 years, or take a shot at Drew Sanders, who's not as proven, but he's young, and you have him on a rookie contract.
This isn't even a question, in my opinion. You trade if there's any way you can get Devin White outside of a first round pick, you take it. There's no question. What are we doing here? This isn't even a Lamar Jackson take from me. Okay?
No, I'm with you. I'm with you on Devin White. Take Devin White.
You have Roquan Smith. You have Fred Warner. You have, if you want to consider Micah Parsons
Bobby
a linebacker
Wagner.
at this point, I wouldn't. I wouldn't say Bobby Wagner just because of how old he is. He's going to be out of the league into probably after this year. And then you have Devin White. He was a number 5 overall pick, and that year I wanted the Lions to get him so bad. But he's athletic. He has a Super Bowl ring under him, and he wants to get out of Tampa because he knows that they're not a functional organization. Put in Detroit Lions, a functional organization who need a leader on the defensive side. Anything you can say about Bobby Wagner, besides all the career accolades at this point, you can say about Devin White. Everything you can say about Roquan Smith, you can say about Devin White. And when you have a linebacker like that requesting a trade, that does not happen often.
No.
The last time I can think of a player of this profile requesting a trade at this point of his career was probably Jamal Williams with the Jets. And I'm not saying the same position, but this doesn't happen often. Or, yeah.
Jeez, I was like, when was Jamal Williams with the Jets?
Yeah, Jamal Adams,
Bro,
pardon me.
and this is the thing too, is like when you're drafting guys, especially in round 1 and round 2, you're drafting to get stars to be in the future of your organization.
Right.
Like you're drafting we would have hoped like a Jeff Okudah was that guy, like a lockdown quarter, all pro. Like you're drafting that. If you have an opportunity to where it's like, I don't have to draft and just hope that this guy is that.
Because I know.
You already know he's an all-pro player. He's already got a Super Bowl. He knows how to go get it. And obviously you have to pay him. But like if you're going to draft Drew Sanders and you expect him to be that guy, you're going to have to pay him eventually if you think he's going to be an all-pro. Like you already have an all-pro guy sitting in front of you. Take him and run and go win a Super Bowl with him.
And I'm not saying this is right or wrong, but that is my exact argument why I said I would rather have like Lamar over all the rookie quarterbacks right there. They're sitting in this draft. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying it's right, but that was my exact thinking with that.
That's
because
fair.
I think you can go and win with Lamar. Let's not go into that because it's not even a
I can get going
possibility.
because you can win with Jared Goff. All right, JB, what would you do in that scenario?
Yeah, you getting Devin White?
Oh,
Are
yeah,
you holding?
Of course, I'm getting Devin White. I'm pretty much fuck those picks at that point in time. Like I
it's
don't
not
care.
even fuck those picks though.
I need someone that's proven. I'd rather take someone that's proven that I know I can count on rather than get a rookie in this draft. So that's just me.
Bro, and that's the thing is like when we look at trades, right? Like when we wanted to trade for Lamar and give up the first round picks, people were like, "Don't take draft capital away from bad homes." Listen, the thing is like with a guy like Devin White is he's proven. Like the draft capital at that point is like you could still miss on Drew Sanders. You could still miss on a Trenton Simpson. And like I know Brad Holmes is really good at knowing, but like you have a solidified All-Pro already. I think, and I know Brad Holmes is like he's doing his due diligence to look at this and be like, is this guy worth the money? And he's gonna. I know for a fact he's already talked to the Tampa Bay Bucks. Like it's a fact. We have all these picks for a reason. We have 9 picks this year,
and we just got another 5th round pick.
Yeah, we had 8 and then now 9.
Oh, okay.
And that's the thing is like
we got Rodrigo in the 6th round, bro.
The point too is like, and I think the heavyweights were saying like, I don't know if I would give up a 3rd for him.
There's no.
You have to give up a 2nd to get him.
That's fine. I don't even think you do. That's the thing. I don't think you do.
You do. No, you do because the Bucks. If they don't trade him, if they don't trade him, he can stay and they'll get a comp 3rd round pick automatically. You have to give them something worth.
What I'm saying, the money reason wise.
Oh, money reason, yeah.
Like they might. It's just they might take whatever because if he holds out, which at this point with Baker Mayfield as a quarterback, you don't know what that locker room's going through right now. Devin White probably wants no part of that.
Baker's in Tampa, isn't he?
Yeah,
I forgot.
That's
like, you know what's crazy too.
If you're gonna see, I guarantee, believe me, later we're gonna see Mike Evans requesting a trade or retiring. I don't. He has way too much money. They're in too much of a rebuild mode. You do have to think
though, bro.
I can see Mike Evans.
Chris Godwin.
You think so, JB?
I can see Mike Evans. Yeah.
Chris Godwin's another one.
I think they know they can stay and still win. Like they're in a bad division.
Dude, there's no.
They'll be in the playoffs.
Realistically, I think the Saints are gonna run through that bitch this year. The Falcons are getting a lot better year in and year out. I don't like Arthur Smith as the head coach, but they have on the offensive side of the ball, they have Drake London, they have Kyle Pitts. I think Cordell Patterson's leaving, but Tyler Algier, their offensive line just improved, and then they could honestly get. I truly think that's where Anthony Richardson's going to land. So if you take in Atlanta,
I don't think so.
I think so.
I think they're locked down.
They just got Jesse Bates on defensive side of the ball.
Kuda.
They got a Kuda. They have Casey Hayward to help them out. They have another nice AJ Terrell. So they have a nice secondary. They have a nice linebacker. I can't think of his name, but they're slowly getting better. I think they're building piece by piece. Panthers, same thing. They're talented. If they get C.J. Stroud, I think that's going to be a situation where it's a lot like the Dallas Cowboys, where it's like they'll be not like noise around them, but they'll be really good in the regular season. I don't think they'll be able to ever put it all together, but I think they'll be contenders. I think Tampa's fucked.
I don't think so. I think they win the division still. I can't
Dude,
see it.
Who's their head coach?
Todd Bowles, right?
I think they fired him, right? Tweaking?
No, they didn't. They just fired
did
the
they-
whole
was
staff.
it-
They just brought a whole new staff in. The thing is, it's like they still
did they fire
have
Leftwich?
everyone outside of Tom
But
Brady.
even-
They just brought, like, obviously Devin White
If
requested a
they're-
trade, but they have
if-
everyone
Dude,
else on
if
that.
they're not winning with Tom Brady, they are not winning with Baker fucking Mayfield.
I don't know. I
I
think
wonder-
that
you
division
don't
is
know.
the easiest division in football right now.
No, the AFC South is. Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars are running through the AFC South.
I don't know. There's some people I heard here at Woodward
The Texans.
that think the Texans
The
might.
Who?
Who? Someone said that. Someone said that they're going
I
to go
would
from
laugh
last
in
to
their
first.
face.
Oh, Spencer said that today.
No
He
way.
said that they'll go from last to first, worst
Trevor,
to first. Worst
no
to first.
way.
That's how you say that.
No
rhymes.
way.
Dude, I'm fighting
I'm-
battles right now with this chair, bro.
You
I
want
don't
to
know.
stand?
It just keeps falling
Let's
on
just
me.
stand then.
Yeah, you kind of got the crappy chair.
Yeah, this is the bad chair.
That's the bad chair. Yeah, it sinks. So
It just keeps falling. I'm gonna end up down on the floor.
Do we
by
need
the
to
end of the
stand?
show. Oh no, it's all right. Let's just keep rolling. But okay, so that makes me kind of bring it to here because my guy Stephen Shea from Barstool, he put out another mock draft. I forgot to send it to you today. He actually had, and this is the second time I've seen it, he had Will Levis falling all the way into kind of like 14, 15, 16 range
Don't say it.
to the Bucks.
Oh, I thought you were going to say for the Lions.
No, he had them fall into the Bucks. Which
I mean, even if they do, Will Levis, I don't think in that division with those defenses.
it's an instant starter, in my opinion.
You have Dennis Allen, who's the head coach for the Saints, who's a defensive coordinator and was having that defense. For somehow, with him as the head coach last year, their defense took a step back, but their whole team did. And I think it was more of just an inside the locker room type of deal. But they have Tyrann Mathieu, Demario Davis, Cameron Jordan, Marshawn Lattimore. They're loaded on the defensive side of the ball.
Derek
A rookie
Carr.
quarterback is going to have a very hard time in that division. The Panthers are loaded. Like I said, the
That'll be-
Falcons secondary is
That'll
very
be
good.
interesting.
I don't think Tampa's in a bad situation. I think they were making their run, and they're very similar, Pat, to the Rams, where now they don't have a lot of assets. I mean, they have more assets than the Rams, but as far as like money, they have no assets to move. So you're taking Baker Mayfield. You're going to go like 500 this year. You're going to have a mid-draft pick next year, and you're going to start shedding the Mike Evans, the Chris Godwins, the Levante Davids. Levante David's going to retire after this year.
There must be something going on in that locker room or like in that organization for Devin White to come out and say, "Hey, I want."
Brady left.
So,
Dude, when you replace Tom Brady with Baker Mayfield, there are going to be players that are simply just not going to buy into what you're doing anymore. And you're going to see that more and more as the season goes on. It's happened everywhere besides Los Angeles.
yeah, that's a fact.
Even before, like after the Raiders game, like, you really buying into Baker in the LA? No.
Dude, I don't know. JB, do you think the? Yeah, I guess you said that Mike Evans will request a trade as well.
yeah,
That's
Mike
kinda
Evans
sad.
gonna get tired
Like-
of that, man.
They let go of Leonard Fournette already.
Yeah, Lenny's gone. I mean, you guys are right. I guess now that
I
you're
think-
breaking it down and I'm thinking about it, it's just weird because they won the Super Bowl 2 years ago, and you're sitting here now. They have Baker,
It would
Devin
make no
White, the heart
sense.
of their defense is out. Like, I really don't care because like Devin White can come to Detroit, and I'm going to be extremely happy. Think about that, dude. Devin White comes to Detroit.
Think about
I have this gambling ticket on my phone, JB, to win the NFC and to win the Super Bowl. That's gonna. I don't even know what to say.
Think
Like,
about-
that's gonna shoot way up.
Think about Devin White, Tracy Walker,
Place that bet,
CJ
JB.
Gardner Johnson, and Kirby Joseph. At like once you get to the defensive line, that's who you'd be facing. That's terrifying. You break to the outside, you got Cam Sutton in your fucking grill.
And I mean,
if we get
bro,
to
you
Von
put a Devin White
Witherspoon-
out there, it makes Anzalone that much more valuable because he was our number
I
one.
think-
He's number 2.
Nope.
But like he's going to your 2 spot,
I think
and
we
him and
would-
Rodrigo are right there. Like that puts the
That-
pressure off of like
That puts the
Anzalone. We
pressure
all
on
know
that-
he's not a number 1 all
But
pro
that's what I'm
linebacker.
saying. I think that
Put
puts
him at the 2 spot where he belongs.
That puts
and
the
he's
pressure
great.
on Rodrigo, and I'm taking Rodrigo when we got it.
Yes, but like imagine you have those 3.
I'm not saying
you're
you're having
elite.
that 3, but that doesn't make just like Anzalone some elite 2. Like,
I'm not
no.
saying
I think
an elite
that's like
2,
all
but, like,
right.
He's your one right now, correct?
The only reason Anzalone is a 1 is because Rodrigo doesn't have the athleticism to be flying around that Anzalone does, and he's got a head on his shoulders.
And he's a captain on that defense.
That's what I'm saying.
Imagine having Devin White, another veteran now, because I mean he's still young, but he's a veteran. He won a Super Bowl, and he was a captain on that defense. Bring him in. You have a second captain in Anzalone. You have a captain in Tracy Walker, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, who could be a captain. Like, man, Elijah Mosley. I mean, Cam Sutton, a captain. I mean, that defense is full of captains. That defense is full of captains. It's full of veterans. It's full of dogs. I mean, that's JB. That's the best defense in the NFL if you get Devin White.
Dude, that's what I was saying. I got
and you get Jalen Carter.
I put a comment in one of our posts, and I got cooked for it. And I said the Lions have a top 5 secondary in the NFL right now. Oh my goodness, lights are going crazy. But the Lions have. If you truly think about it, JB, you chime in.
Is there a ghost in here?
There was some shit going on with the lighting over there.
That was a close one.
Rachel's
I didn't know what happened there.
That was scary for a second.
I don't know. I was about to see me get up and run in a minute.
See, there goes again.
Look, I'm out. Yep, nope. Black guy dies first in these movies. I know what happens.
That was creepy, man.
But the Detroit Lions, I think, will have a top 5 secondary in the NFL this year. You have the Bills, you got Tre'Davious White, Micah Hyde, Jordan Poyer. You got Kyra Elam, the rookie last year. Then you have the Cowboys. You could say I'm not a Trayvon Diggs fan because they don't have the safeties, but they have Stephon Gilmore, who I really like. You have the Eagles with Bradbury and Slay. You have the Dolphins with Ramsey and Howard. And then you have the Lions, who have at least a B at every position, and you have an A at the safety spot with C.J. Gardner-Johnson. And you could honestly say Kirby Joseph has a potential ability to be A-. So if you have that, I don't think there's another secondary outside of it. You have the Packers secondary. You have with Jair Alexander, who's no doubt a top corner in this league, but then Eric Stokes is solid. But as far as from like the safety depth, it comes nowhere even close to the Lions. When you have Eric Stokes, that's solid, but I would still rather have Cam Sutton. And then you have Emmanuel Mosley, or you have Rasul Douglas. Rasul Douglas was nice, but he's going to be on the decline. He's getting up there. I get he's not 33, but he's not going to be playing his best football. Emmanuel Mosley could be playing his best football. He's coming off an injury, and you don't know what to make out of him. So I think they could very easily be a top 5 defense in this league.
Yeah.
Broncos, too. I forgot to mention them.
I mean, even if they don't trade for a Devin White, they don't bring a veteran linebacker in, you still have an opportunity to bring guys in the draft. You have 2 first-round picks. You have 2 second-round picks. You have 9 total picks in the draft. You can go get another linebacker to add to that. You can go get a Jalen Carter or Will Anderson. You can go get weapons, anything you need to get to kind of make that defense solidify to top 10 in the league. Like, you can do that. And I put out yesterday on Woodward, the Detroit Lions are the 4th best favorites to win the NFC this year. And that's not even counting the draft yet. And they have 9 picks in the draft. And it's like, people be like, oh, you have 9 picks. All 9 picks aren't going to do anything. No, Brad Holmes has 9 picks to go make trades, to go bring other guys in, to go make moves.
I think we're going to see that for sure.
You're going to see him make moves that, like, just like last year, he makes those trades to move up. Like, he might go back into the first round. He might go back into the second round. He's going to go get 3 or 4 or 5 more guys that are going to legit make an impact on this team, whether it's defense or offense. And you're going to see that. And it's going to, that's what I'm saying, JB. Get your ticket in for them to win the NFC in the Super Bowl, because it's going to move after the draft. It's going to, get it in now when it's at plus 900.
It's going to be so
It'll be plus 500 when the draft's done.
It's going to pay off. I know it for sure.
Are you doing it?
No, I already put mine in.
Oh, you got it in?
Yeah.
Yeah, JB! Let's go.
Update on the playing game. The Heat are still down 13. Tyler Hero is
Damn it.
3.
To win.
Come on,
I
Miami.
do too. I don't fuck with the Hawks whatsoever. I'm sorry. I'm not an Atlanta fan. I like Sadiq Bey, but that's about it.
Yeah. Oh, Sadiq Bey's on the team. I forgot. I just got distracted. I'm sorry.
But
well, we had start sit cut, but it is 9. I know JB's got to wake up early for the morning show. There's Spencer. Spencer just gave me a heart. He just put up a heart for me.
But I think it's a good place to wrap it up.
Yeah, I think that was a good show. Shout out to Eazy for coming on.
Yep.
Maybe next week we can get another guest. Maybe we can reach out to some people and see.
Yeah, we can start getting
maybe
people
we'll get
on.
an outside guest from outside of Woodward.
Yeah, have them in.
See if we can get someone. But appreciate you guys tuning in.
Yep.
Make sure, throw a comment in below. See what you guys want to see, what you think about the show. Comment below, even if it's a clip or anything. Just put a comment. Like, subscribe, all of that stuff. Lucas, did you have something to say?
No, just appreciate all your support. Clayton Tune is going to be the second best quarterback in this draft. I will stand on that hill. Believe me later. We'll catch you next week.
Love you guys.